everyone, this is Amanda at Amanda's Booktopia. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. And today is the start of a new TBR video for the new year of 2026. I cannot believe it is already January. Where has the time gone? I swear time flies. It feels like I just was doing 2025 last year. I swear, the time just goes by so fast. I don't know where it's all gone. But it's gone, and here we are entering 2026. And I decided to revamp my TBR videos a little bit. We are still using the cards, however, I have decided to bring in a couple of new things. So I have a couple of wheels that I have set up. One is a wheel of KU and Prime books. I kind of want to utilize my KU subscription more, as well as my Prime subscription, which I already use regardless, but there's books that are on there as well. And I want to make sure that I'm using it enough to keep the subscription going for KU. So we will be choosing at least 3 books from that wheel. And then I set up a wheel of the 26 books I want to read in 2026. I do want to do my video for that, which I have not yet done as of filming this. However, hopefully sometime after, we will have that video. There are 6 books on the list, though, and the wheel, that are not yet out. However, if we get to those, for whatever reason, they show up on the wheel, and I don't have it yet, we'll just spin again. Unless there's a book coming out for the month of January. And then we will add it to January. But if it's not coming out in January, we'll just hold off and spin again. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to spin 3 spins for the KU and Prime wheel. And then we're going to do 2 spins on the 26 and 26 wheel. And, you know, if I need to add in more spins later on down the line, I will. And then we're going to pull 5 of these cards for my physical books. So that way I'm utilizing my physical and ebooks. I might throw in like an audiobook every month. I haven't decided how I'm going to pick my audiobooks yet. But for now, I wanted to bring in something a little bit new and different. So you still get to see me pull cards, and we're going to spin a couple of wheels. So I'm very excited for the new changes. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So we will start with the cards first, because I know people love the cards. And then we will go into the wheels. So to start with, before we pull cards, I do want to mention I am doing a reading year-long challenge called Once Upon a Year, which is run by Katie from the Marginalia Writer. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I will tag her announcement video down below in case you're interested. It's very similar to Aurelium, but not as complicated. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to do. It's a year-long challenge, and she broke it up into like quarters. Or not exactly quarters, more like chapters. And each chapter is 3 months long. So we have main prompts, and then we have like side prompts if you want to do those. I already picked out books mainly for most of the prompts already. There's only 1 prompt that I haven't fulfilled yet. But maybe if I could find something during this TBR, I will add that. If not, I have 2 extra months to add it in. I have covered every single core prompt besides that 1. But I will talk to you guys about what books I'm using for that at the end of the video. But I do have some buddy reads and other physical books that I'm going to be reading, and we will get to all that at the end as well. If I can fit them into the cards, amazing. If not, we'll just add them as extra. So in total, we will have 10 books, 5 physical, 3 ebooks, and 2 off my 26 and 26. However, if we have extras, we'll have a few extras. We will see how it goes. But first, we are going to pick our 5 cards. And I already shuffled them, because I just decided to redo my deck a little bit and change it up. So I took out a bunch of prompts and added some new ones. So we will see if any of the new ones come up. So let's pull card number 1. We will go with this one. Okay, we have book for a video project. This is a new prompt that I just wrote. Nice. I don't know what I want to do for a video project in January yet. Well, I know I haven't done my LC Silver vlog yet. Maybe I'll throw in one of my LC Silver books so I could do my vlog for that. Or, let's see, for a video project. I don't know if I want to do that or if I want to do a different book for another project. You know what? I'll think about it and we'll decide what book we're using for this at the end of the video. So I'll hold on to that card. And we'll pick card number 2. And we have author I read from before. Okay, this is easy. Because the book I'm reading for Fiction Falls, we're doing a read-along starting in January and going until April with V.E. Schwab's Darker Shade of Magic series. And I have read from V.E. Schwab before quite a few times. I read Gallant, I read Addie LaRue, and I've also read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. And I've enjoyed all 3. And I'm very excited to read this series starting in January. It's going to be me, Clint from Reads Readers, Stephanie from Stephanie's Bookverse, and Jackie from the Reading Wordsmith. And I will link them all down below if you want to go check them out, if you haven't yet. And I am very excited. We will be doing sprints on January 10th at 2 p.m. And then we're doing a live show. I think it's the last day of January at 2 p.m. Pretty sure. I will also link down the Fiction Falls Instagrams down below. So if you want to be sure of what dates and times, that is on the Instagram. So I will make sure that is down below so you can follow us there. And I am very excited to read this. So this works perfect for an author I read from before. So that is book number 2. And now we're going to pull book number 3. And we have, let's see what we have. Okay, a new to me author. I just had an author I read from before. And they're both new prompts too. I just threw these in today. So a new to me author. I actually have the perfect book for this. And it's a buddy read. So I'm excited for this one. I'm going to use Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Never read this author before. This is going to be a buddy read along with Catherine, who gifted me this book. This will also be in my book haul video when I post that. I haven't filmed it yet, but when I do, this will be in there. Catherine, who's in the Sweeney Readers Discord, she sent this to me as a holiday gift. So thank you, Catherine. And we're going to be reading this together in January. And it works perfect for a new to me author because I've never read Hannah Grace yet. Well, at least I haven't read from her yet. But I do know one of the characters is a hockey player and one is a figure skater. And I love books with figure skating or ice dancing or any form of it in books. I mean, The Favorites by Lane Fargo, absolutely one of my top reads, like, ever. And that's saying a lot. And that has ice dancing in it. So this also has figure skating and hockey. So I'm excited to give this one a go. I think it's going to be a fun time, and it works for a new to me author. So that is 3 books down. We have 2 more cards to go. Let's see what we get next. Hopefully not a penguin card. And Ray's right over there. So we will see. And we have, okay, a book no one is talking about. At least that from my perspective, that nobody is talking about. My last buddy read, unfortunately, does not work for this. What else do I have? You know what? We will pick the book for this at the end. Because I have no clue what I want to do for this right now. So we're going to pull our last card, and we will talk about that in the end. And then we'll go to our wheels. Alright, last card. Alright, we have a book I've been putting off, which is a new prompt. I have a lot of books I've been putting off. Well, I do have Empire the Vampire by Jay Kristoff that I could do for this, because I haven't putting it off. And I also have Slaying the Shadow Prince by Helen Shore that I've started, but I haven't finished. Same with Empire the Vampire. I mean, I don't know if it counts that I've already started it.
Yeah.
Should I do a book that I've already started, or should I do a book that I haven't started yet? What do you think, Ray?
I don't know.
So this is also a new prompt, and I gotta figure out what I want to do for it.
I would say you could include it.
Books that I've started?
Yeah, why not?
That I've been putting off for whatever reason?
Yeah.
I think I know what I want to do. So I decided to continue my read of Slaying the Shadow Prince by Helen Shore. I have been putting this off since like October? September? Somewhere around there. I think it might have been September. I started it, and I put it down and didn't pick it back up. So I think I'm going to use this for a book that I've been putting off, because it's been so long, and I really do want to finish it. So I was enjoying it. I just never got back to it, because there were other books I was prioritizing over this one. So this one I'm going to use for a book I've been putting off. We also need to decide a book for a video project and a book no one is talking about. I'm going to need to do some research, so I will be back for those two. Alright, so I found a couple of books for those prompts that I needed. So a book for a video project. The book that I picked is one that I started like last year. I can't remember exactly when. I think it was the spring, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to check my GoodReads, because I marked it as read as a soft DNF at the time. But I've heard nothing but amazing things, and then people are saying that like the ending is like to die for, and people are obsessed. And the second book in the series is coming out in 2026. So I do want to find out what all the fuss is about. Normally, hyped books is not usually end up something that I end up loving, because I have way too high expectations in my head. But I want to love it. And I did start it. I just need to finish it. And I completely forgot about this book. So I want to find out what the heck everyone is talking about. So for the video project, I'm going to do a book review on it once I finish it. I just need to actually finish it. So for that, I'm going to do Meadow Slainer by Rachel Schneider. Everybody seems to be loving this, and I want to love it too. So what I will do is finish this book and then do a book review for it for you guys. So that's what I'm going to do for a video project. And then a book no one is talking about. So this is a sequel to a series that I started. The first one was called House of Ash and Shadow by Leah Stone. This is the second one, called House of War and Bone. I gave the first book 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. Haven't seen a single person talk about this series anywhere. And I really want to continue the series. And it's a very short book that I could get through in no time. I could literally read this in like a day. Maybe less. So this is perfect for a book no one is talking about, because I haven't seen a single soul mention this series. I've heard people talk about another series from her, but never this series. So I decided this is a perfect time to continue the series. And I am very excited to see what is going to happen, because the way the first one ended, I'm like, I need to find out what the heck is going to happen next. So I'm very excited to continue a series and finally move on so I can get to the third book. I don't own the third book yet. However, it is on my books I really want list. So I'm hoping this will be a 5-star so I could go ahead and get the third book in the series. And so that is all the physical books that the prompt cards gave me. So what we've got so far is for a book I've been putting off, Slaying the Shadow Prince by Helen Shore. And then we have, what was the other prompt? An author I've read from before, which is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. A new to me author, which is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. And then we have a book for a video project, which will be Metal Slayer by Rachel Schneider. And a book no one is talking about, which is House of War and Bone by Leah Stone. That's all we have for the prompt cards. However, there is a couple more buddy reads that I do plan on getting to as well. Besides the ones I've already mentioned, I also have, I'm going to be reading Wicked by Gregory Maguire with my bestie Clint. We both absolutely love the musical. We've seen both movies already. We absolutely adore it. And he's already decorating his room as such, which I think is awesome. But we both wanted to try the book, so we decided we're going to read it together in January. I'm very excited to finally read it. I started it in high school. Never finished it. So I think it's a great time to go back and read it. It is on KU, so I'm going to borrow it off of there and use that for my KU subscription. And then the other buddy read that I have not yet gotten to, well, of course I haven't gotten to it because we haven't started January yet. But it's a buddy read. I'm reading with my besties Karina and Nikki. I was saying, they were talking about how they were going to read this book, and I'm like, oh, I have a physical copy of it. And then she's like, and then they were like, why don't you join us? I'm like, sure. So I'm also going to be reading The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. I know this is historical with a mystery thriller, and it's during the winter time, so that also works for a prompt that I'm using for the Once Upon a Year reading challenge. Let me go through those as well, so I can tell you about those prompts real quick, and then we will get to the wheels. So I'm using The Frozen River for mystery thriller set in winter, which is one of the main prompts for the chapter 1, I should say, which is technically the first 3 months of the year. So chapter 1 is January, February, March. But pretty much, I'm knocking out most of these prompts out of the park already in January. So if I find one with a dual point of view while I'm reading books in the month of January, I could use another book for that prompt, because that's another prompt that is for chapter 1. I just haven't figured out what I'm reading for that dual multi-POV prompt yet. But we are not allowed to double up either. So it's one book per prompt, and so I'm using this one for the mystery thriller set in winter because that's all I really know about it, and I'm very excited to read it because I love historical fiction and I love mystery thrillers. So put them together, it's gotta be good. And then I'm gonna use Wicked with Clint for, I had to roll a dice and like a d6. So I use the one on my phone and then times that number by 100, and you have to get a page count of about that many pages. So I rolled a 4 on a d6. And so my prompt with Clint, my buddy read with Clint, Wicked, is 406 pages. And since I rolled a 4, 406 is very, very close to 400. So I figured I would use that for that prompt. And then there's also the prompt of immersive setting and standout world building. So I figured I'm going to use for that prompt A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, because I have heard this has great world building, and I'm already planning on reading it anyway, so I figured this would be perfect for that prompt. And then the last prompt for the Once Upon a Year was a book I was gifted. And this was a gift, and I'm buddy reading it already in January, which is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. So already I'm knocking prompts out left and right for Once Upon a Year for the first chapter. I only have one more prompt I need to fill. If I don't get to it in January, that's okay. I will find something for February or March, because literally all these prompts that I'm talking about, like the ones that I've already mentioned, plus the dual point of view, literally last from January to March. So I don't have to read them all in January, but most of them fit the books that I'm already reading. So if I might be ahead of the game already. So that is all the physical books. Now let's get into the wheels, which I am very excited to do. So I'm going to put these cards away. Now we'll take you over to my wheel. So give me just a moment, now we'll bring you on over. Here is my KU and Prime book wheel. So we're going to choose 3 of these. And after we choose the 3, I will come back and talk about the 3 that we picked. And there's a mix of many different genres. We have regular romance, we have dark romance, we have mystery thrillers, we have, I think, some historical fiction, a bunch of romantasy, and all kinds of things on this list. And these were all off of KU and Prime. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle a few more times before we spin the wheel and find out what we're going to be reading in the month of January. And if I don't get to these, I will just leave them on the wheel, and hopefully we will get to, I'm hoping to get to all 3, really. But if I don't, we will carry them into February, on top of the ones I'm going to be spinning for in February. So shuffle a few times, and let's spin for our first one. Okay, Obsidian Sky by Jill Astor. I'm not even sure if that's out yet. Let me check and see if it is. Only reason why I knew about this one is because of Brief and 4 Paws in a Book. Oh, this does not come out until February. Even though it will be on KU, but it won't be out till February. So, unfortunately, we will have to respin this one, because it is not yet out. So we're going to respin that one. So we'll shuffle a couple more. Alright, and we will respin. Okay, Bewitched by Laura Thalassa. This is on KU. And I don't know a lot about it, but I know my friend Misty really liked this book, and I haven't read this author yet. Set in the world of the Bargainer series, and I haven't yet read the Bargainer series, but it sounds really interesting. I know it's witchy, and I don't know a lot about it. However, it's on KU, so I will be adding this to my KU list. Let's see. So we'll exchange it with this one for now. So I will be reading Bewitched in the month of January. However, I will leave this on the wheel in case I don't get to it, because I don't know if I will, but I'm going to attempt to. If I do get to it, I will remove it off the wheel. Alright, so let's shuffle again, and we're going to spin 2 more times. Okay, bite the woman that feeds. Interesting. By Penelope Barsetti. So this has been on my radar for a while. It's a dark fantasy romance. And I don't know much about it. But I saw a dark fantasy romance and I was very much interested. There's vampires in this one. And it just sounds really, really good. Alright. So this will also be added to my KU. You will return that and get this one. Alright, so Bite the Woman That Feeds is the second book I will be attempting to read off of this wheel. And I will leave it in case I don't get to it. And then I will remove it later once I do. Alright. Now we're going to shuffle another time and spin one last time. Hunted by Fae by Quinn Blackburn. Interesting. Oops, I'm spelling it wrong. Should I Fae? Alright, so this is a Dark Fae apocalypse. Okay, interesting. I don't know anything about it, except when I read the blurb, it sounded interesting. So there's Fae, and we're in the apocalyptic time stuff. Interesting. Looks like we are following two characters, Tess and Bee. And the warriors of the Dark Fae invade to exterminate, and they are here to eradicate us, and they have a plan. Interesting. Sorry about that. But this one does sound quite interesting. Apocalyptic with Fae. Alrighty then. We will add this to my KU borrows. So we have the 3 that we spun off of the KU and Prime wheel. I will leave them on just in case I don't get to them. Hopefully I will. And I will add this to my TBR list. Hopefully they're all going to be good, because I don't know much about them. And so I don't have any expectations going into them, which is even better. I happen to like books a lot more when I don't have expectations. So now we're going to open my 26 books to read in 2026. I have 6 books on this wheel. They're not yet out. However, one of the books that I have on this list comes out January 6th. So if we get that, I will be pre-ordering that anyways. This week. So if we do get that book, I will add it to my TBR. However, if it's a book that's not already out, that doesn't come out in January, we'll just spin again. So we're going to shuffle a few times, and we're going to pick 2. So we're just going to spin 2 times on this one. And if I have the book, I will go grab it, and we will talk about it after we spin the wheel. So here we go. Okay, Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley. I love this pick. Mostly because I have been wanting to read this for a while now. And I've heard excellent things from a couple of my favorite booktubers. So we will talk a little bit more about it after I spin one last time, and then I'll go grab the books and we will talk about the other one. Oh, both books once I'm done here. So we're going to shuffle a couple more times, and let's spin for the last one. Okay, 7 Deadly Thorns by Amber Hamilton. Well, this is exciting because ever since I got this book, I have been really wanting to read it. So let me go grab those 2 books and we will talk about what we just spun. And we'll talk a little bit more about the KU books as well. So give me just a moment and I will be right back. I have gotten the books the wheel has spun for us. So first we have Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley. I cannot wait to read this. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this series. If I'm not mistaken, there's some kind of trials in this book. When I heard trials, that is a buzzword for me. So I'm like, I have to have this. And I bought myself a hardback instead of a paperback because I thought the hardback was nicer because there's no jacket. It's printed right onto the actual hardback. And I love that. So that is the reason why I got this particular copy. And because I've been hearing such amazing things about it, I cannot wait to dive in. So that will be such a fun time. I cannot wait to read this in January. And then the other book from 26 and 2026 that Wheel spun for us is 7 Deadly Thorns by Amber Hamilton. I cannot wait to read this. Plus, it's absolutely stunning. I love the sprayed edges on it. And not only that, but look at this actual hardback. Absolutely stunning. I love this gold foiling so much. Absolutely love it. And from my understanding, I know it's a romantasy, just like Servant of Earth is. This has an academy in it, and I am a sucker for a book with academies in it. Plus, on top of that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was compared to a couple of other series. 7 Deadly Thorns. I'm just looking it up to make sure it's what I think. So I can't remember for sure what it was compared to. Okay, it was A Cruel Prince meets Powerless. I adore the Cruel Prince series. Absolutely love it. I also really love Powerless. The second book in the Powerless series, not so much. But Powerless itself, yes. So when I saw this was compared to that, I'm like, heck yeah. I cannot wait to read this. This is going to be so much fun. I honestly cannot wait. And now let's go over the KU books that the wheel chose for me. First is Bewitched by Laura Thalassa. And there's an Academy for Young Witches in this one as well. So when I saw Academy score, and I know it's witchy, she ends up awakening an ancient evil, and evil one mistakes this woman for his long dead wife, and he ends up going after her. And then she ends up needing his help for something else. So this sounds fun. I've never read the Bargainer series, even though it says it's set in the same world. I have not yet read Bargainers. But this one sounds fun. And I've heard nothing but great things. So I'm excited to read that. And then the second book that the wheel spun for us was Bite the Woman That Feeds by Penelope Barsetti. It says, King Snake only wanted my blood, but now he wants all of me. Interesting. A sickness has claimed the kingdoms of men. Everyone is either sick or dying, weak to a curse that has no cure except for me. I am immune to this mysterious illness, and I do my best to heal the sick and ease the pain of the dying. I was supposed to marry the Prince of Raventawer, but after his father and elder brother succumbed to the sickness, he is now king, and could only marry someone of his station. He broke all his promises to me and broke my heart. King Snake, king of vampires and lord of darkness, marches upon our gates and demands a handful of our healthiest citizens. The vampires have always stuck to their lands and never invaded ours, but their lack of food has made them desperate. King Elias not only succumbs to his demands, but he offers me on the condition that King Snake never return. The man I love betrayed me and will feed me to a monster. I have become a prisoner to the vampire king and witnessed his cruelty and malice firsthand. I knew I would hate him, but I didn't know how much I would hate him. The feeling is mutual, because I could feel the emotions of those around me, and his emotions burn with rage any time he's in my presence. But the second he tastes my blood, everything changes. His anger is replaced by an intensity I've never felt in my life. It's so powerful, it smothers me until I can't breathe. His stare is like wildfire, so searing hot it makes my skin melt. I know he wants me, and he wants me more than anyone else ever has. Even the man I love never wanted me like this. I would never sleep with a vampire, but King Snake is no ordinary vampire. Okay, I am excited for this one. I might have to read that one first, because that one sounds amazing. And then the last book that the wheel spun for us on that was Hunted by Fae by Quinn Blackbird. Bee and Tess are on the trip of a lifetime when the sky rumbles with a thick, churning darkness that swallows the world. First came the darkness, and it brought the plague. But the true horror was for those who survived long enough to suffer the invasion of dark fae warriors. Interesting. There's a little bit more, if you're going back and forth between characters in the synopsis. But that alone has me interested. So I am excited to read that. So that should be a lot of fun. I think we have some good books on this TBR, in all honesty. So now, and I'm sure one of these books probably has a dual point of view. Most likely they do. But let me pull all the physical copies that we've got. We'll go over them one more time. So, for our 26 and 26, we have Seven Deadly Thorns by Amber Hamilton. And we have Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley. And then from our previous books, I'll go over them one more time before we end off this TBR. We have Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, House of War and Bone by Leah Stone, Metal Slayer by Rachel Schneider, and we have Slaying the Shadow Prince by Helen Shore. And last but not least, we have The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 physical books. And then we have 3 ebooks. So 8 plus 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 books for the month of January. I think that's doable. And it's a lot better than having Alexa choose between a number through 1 and 12. I really think this would be a much better plan for me. And so I'm not stressing out. However, there is a vlog that I've still been meaning to do that I have not yet done, and that's my Elsie Silver vlog. However, I think I might save that Elsie Silver vlog for February. Because February is a month of romance. I think Elsie Silver will be perfect for February. So I might wait on that project and do that in February. Because we have a good stack of books here that I'm very excited to get to. A couple of which I've been putting off. But hopefully they're going to be hits. Because I need them to be, desperately. And that is all for this TBR video. I hope you had such fun with it as I did. I hope you enjoy this new revamped style of doing it. If you like, I definitely want to continue doing this throughout the new year. So if you enjoy this type of style, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear all your thoughts. Have you read any of these books? I would love to hear your thoughts on them as well if you have. If you have not, if there's any books here that you're interested in, definitely let me know that too. If you want to read them with me, that's awesome as well. That would be so cool. If not, that's alright. You know, there's always books to go around. Plenty, of course. And if you got this far into the video and you don't feel like being chatty, why don't you leave me a... We have a lot of romantasy on this list, and only like one romance. So for the romance, why don't you give me a pink heart? And then for the rest of them, give me a, because it's romanticy, should we do a sword or a magic wand? You know what, why don't you give me all three? A pink heart, a sword, and a magic wand. Because we got a lot of stuff to...
All bases are covered.
Yeah, all bases are covered. So I hope you loved this video. If you did, give me a huge thumbs up. If you want to see more bookish content from me and you want to see more end of year stuff that I will be coming out with soon, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below, and I will see you all in the next one.